The science of motivation. How to hack your brain for success. The importance of motivation for success. Motivation is at the core of human achievement. Whether you're striving to excel in your career, improve your health, learn a new skill, or build better relationships, motivation is the invisible engine that drives all of your actions. It's what gets you out of bed in the morning and keeps you working on your goals when the going gets tough. But motivation isn't just a mysterious force. It's something that can be understood, nurtured, and even hacked. In this video, we'll explore the intricate science behind motivation and uncover how the brain reacts to stimuli, how habits form, and how external factors like environment and social influence can impact our drive. Most importantly, we'll give you practical, science-backed techniques to hack your brain for lasting success. Motivation is not just an emotion, it's a biological process involving neural networks, neurotransmitters, and hormonal systems. By the end of this journey, you'll have a toolkit of actionable steps to maintain high levels of motivation, even in the face of adversity. Let's get started by breaking down exactly what motivation is. What is motivation? Defining motivation. Motivation, at its simplest, is the process that initiates, guides, and sustains goal-oriented behaviors. It's the internal drive that compels you to take action and move toward your goals. But motivation is not a one-size-fits-all concept. It's highly individualized and can vary significantly from person to person. Some people are naturally more driven by intrinsic motivators, those that come from within, like the joy of learning or the satisfaction of mastering a skill. Others are more influenced by extrinsic motivators, such as rewards, recognition, or avoiding negative consequences. Most people, however, experience a blend of both. In this chapter, we'll delve into the two main types of motivation, intrinsic and extrinsic, and we'll also explore a third type, called amotivation, which is a state of lacking any motivation to engage in activities. Understanding these distinctions is essential for hacking your brain to achieve sustained success. The brain's role in motivation. Your brain is a highly complex system that plays a central role in motivation. Key areas of the brain are responsible for different aspects of motivation. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for executive functions, planning, decision-making, and impulse control. The prefrontal cortex helps you set goals and devise strategies to achieve them. The limbic system, in particular the amygdala and nucleus accumbens, which are part of the brain's reward system, help regulate emotions and respond to rewards and pleasure. When you accomplish something, the brain releases dopamine, which gives you a sense of satisfaction and reinforces the behavior. The dopamine pathway. This is perhaps the most well-known aspect of motivation. Dopamine, often called the motivation molecule, is released in response to both the anticipation and achievement of goals. The more dopamine, the more likely you are to repeat the behavior that triggered its release. Understanding how these brain regions and chemicals work is the first step in hacking your motivation for long-term success. Intrinsic motivation, the inner drive for personal satisfaction. Intrinsic motivation is the internal drive to pursue something because you find it inherently rewarding. This type of motivation is driven by personal satisfaction, curiosity, or the desire to improve oneself. For example, if you enjoy painting and spend hours doing it because it brings you joy, you are motivated intrinsically. Research shows that intrinsic motivation leads to better performance, creativity, and long-term success because it's self-sustaining. When you're intrinsically motivated, you don't need external rewards like money or praise to keep you going. The act of pursuing the goal is its own reward. But how does intrinsic motivation work in the brain? Studies suggest that intrinsically motivated tasks activate the brain's default mode network, which is associated with creativity, introspection, and self-referential thoughts. When you do something out of pure interest, your brain enters a state of flow, where time seems to fly, and you feel fully immersed in the activity. This flow state is highly conducive to productivity and success. Extrinsic motivation, driven by external rewards. Extrinsic motivation, on the other hand, is driven by external factors such as money, recognition, or social approval. It's the type of motivation that kicks in when you're offered a reward for completing a task or avoiding a punishment for failing to do so. For example, you might be extrinsically motivated to complete a work project because of the potential for a promotion, or you might push yourself to study hard for an exam to avoid the negative consequences of failing. Extrinsic motivation can be powerful, especially in the short term, but it doesn't always lead to long-term satisfaction or sustained behavior change. When you're extrinsically motivated, your brain responds to the potential for reward by releasing dopamine, which triggers feelings of anticipation. However, studies show that excessive reliance on extrinsic rewards can undermine intrinsic motivation. This is known as the over-justification effect, where offering external rewards for tasks that people are already intrinsically motivated to do reduces their motivation to engage in that activity over time. A motivation, when you have no drive. A motivation is the absence of any motivation, intrinsic or extrinsic. It's a state where you lack the desire to engage in any activity or pursue any goals. People who are unmotivated often feel overwhelmed, lost, or unsure about what they want to achieve. In many cases, a motivation is linked to feelings of helplessness, depression, or burnout. Neuroscientists have found that a motivation can be linked to dysfunction in the brain's reward system. If your brain is not releasing enough dopamine, or if certain neural pathways are weakened, you may find it difficult to feel motivated, even for tasks you used to enjoy. Motivation as a continuum. Rather than seeing intrinsic and extrinsic motivation as binary categories, it's helpful to view motivation as a continuum. Depending on the task and your individual circumstances, you might experience varying levels of intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. For example, you might initially start a project for extrinsic reasons, e.g., to earn a promotion. But over time, you may develop a genuine passion for it, shifting toward intrinsic motivation. The role of dopamine in motivation. Dopamine, the motivation molecule. Dopamine is one of the most critical neurotransmitters involved in motivation. Often called the motivation molecule, dopamine is released when we anticipate or achieve a goal. It's the brain's way of rewarding you for taking action, which reinforces behavior and encourages you to repeat it. But here's something interesting. Dopamine is not just about the pleasure of receiving a reward, it's more about the anticipation of that reward. This is why dopamine levels spike not when you achieve a goal, but when you're working toward it. In other words, the brain is hardwired to enjoy the pursuit, not just the destination. This discovery has profound implications for motivation. It means that setting long-term goals and breaking them down into smaller, manageable milestones can keep you motivated for longer periods. Each time you achieve a small win, your brain releases dopamine, giving you the boost you need to keep going. How dopamine fuels the pursuit of goals. The dopamine system plays a crucial role in what scientists call the reward prediction error hypothesis. When you anticipate a reward, your brain predicts how much dopamine it will receive. If the actual reward matches or exceeds your expectation, you feel satisfied, and your brain strengthens the neural connections associated with the behavior that led to the reward. However, if the reward falls short of your expectations, dopamine levels drop, and you may feel disappointed. This feedback loop helps the brain learn from past experiences and adjust your behavior to maximize future rewards. By hacking this system, you can train your brain to stay motivated over the long term. One effective strategy is to set incremental goals that provide regular, predictable dopamine boosts. For example, if you're working on a large project, break it down into smaller tasks and celebrate each completion. The steady release of dopamine will keep you engaged and motivated. The dark side of dopamine, addiction and overstimulation. While dopamine is essential for motivation, it can also lead to addiction and overstimulation if not regulated properly. Activities like social media, video games, and junk food can hijack the brain's dopamine system, creating an unhealthy reliance on instant gratification. When your brain is constantly bombarded with dopamine from short-term rewards, it can become desensitized, making it harder to stay motivated for long-term goals. This is why some people struggle with procrastination or lose interest in activities that don't provide immediate rewards. To hack your brain for success, it's crucial to strike a balance between short-term gratification and long-term fulfillment. By consciously limiting distractions and focusing on meaningful, goal-oriented activities, you can reset your brain's dopamine system and maintain a healthy level of motivation. How to boost dopamine naturally. There are several ways to naturally boost dopamine levels and keep your motivation high. Exercise. Physical activity releases dopamine and other feel-good chemicals like endorphins. Regular exercise not only improves your mood, but also enhances your ability to stay motivated. Sleep. Lack of sleep can impair dopamine production, leading to reduced motivation and focus. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night to ensure your brain has the energy it needs to stay motivated. Diet. Certain foods, like those rich in protein, omega-3 fatty acids, and antioxidants, can support dopamine production. Include foods like eggs, fish, leafy greens, and nuts in your diet to keep your brain functioning optimally. Meditation and mindfulness. Practicing mindfulness can help reduce stress and regulate dopamine levels. Meditation has been shown to improve focus, reduce impulsivity, and increase overall well-being, all of which contribute to sustained motivation. Neuroplasticity, rewiring your brain for success. What is neuroplasticity? Neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. This means that your brain is not static. It's constantly adapting and evolving based on your thoughts, actions, and experiences. The implications of neuroplasticity for motivation are profound. By consistently engaging in goal-oriented behaviors, you can literally rewire your brain to stay motivated. When you practice a behavior repeatedly, your brain strengthens the neural pathways associated with that behavior. Over time, these pathways become more efficient, making it easier for you to stay motivated and take action. Conversely, if you consistently avoid tasks or give in to procrastination, your brain will reinforce those patterns, making it harder to break the cycle. The power of habits and brain rewiring. One of the most effective ways to hack your brain for success is to build positive habits. Habits are automatic behaviors that don't require conscious effort or motivation to maintain. Once a behavior becomes a habit, your brain no longer needs to expend energy deciding whether to do it. You just do it. This is why habits are so powerful for achieving long-term success. By building habits that align with your goals, you can reduce your reliance on willpower and stay on track even when motivation wanes. The habit loop. Cue, routine, reward. The process of habit formation involves a simple loop. Cue, routine, reward. Cue. This is the trigger that initiates the behavior. It could be a time of day, a specific location, or an emotional state. Routine. This is the behavior itself, the action you take in response to the cue. Reward. This is the positive reinforcement you receive after completing the behavior. It could be a sense of accomplishment, a dopamine boost, or a tangible reward. And by understanding the habit loop, you can hack your brain to build positive habits and break negative ones. For example, if you want to develop a habit of exercising every morning, you could use the cue of waking up, cue, followed by your workout, routine, and reward yourself with a healthy breakfast or a sense of accomplishment, reward. The role of consistency in habit formation. Consistency is key when it comes to rewiring your brain for success. Research shows that it takes an average of 66 days to form a new habit. Though this can vary depending on the complexity of the behavior and individual differences, to ensure success, start small. Focus on building one habit at a time and gradually increase the complexity as you gain momentum. The more consistent you are, the stronger the neural pathways associated with that habit will become, making it easier to stay motivated in the long run. How to break negative habits. Breaking negative habits requires the same understanding of the habit loop, but instead of reinforcing the behavior, you need to disrupt it. Identify the cue that triggers the unwanted behavior and replace the routine with a more positive action. For example, if you tend to procrastinate by checking social media, identify the cue that triggers this behavior. Perhaps it's boredom or stress. Instead of scrolling through your feed, replace the routine with a more productive activity, like taking a short walk or reading a book. Over time, your brain will learn to associate the cue with the new positive behavior. Neuroplasticity and mindset, the power of a growth mindset. Neuroplasticity is closely linked to the concept of a growth mindset, which is the belief that you can improve your abilities through effort and learning. People with a growth mindset are more likely to stay motivated in the face of challenges because they view obstacles as opportunities for growth rather than as threats to their self-worth. Conversely, those with a fixed mindset believe that their abilities are innate and unchangeable. As a result, they are more likely to give up when faced with difficulties, as they see failure as a reflection of their inherent limitations. The good news is that a growth mindset can be cultivated through neuroplasticity. By challenging yourself to step outside your comfort zone and embrace new experiences, you can rewire your brain to become more resilient and motivated. The power of visualization for motivation. How visualization works in the brain. Visualization is a powerful psychological tool that involves mentally rehearsing the achievement of your goals. Research shows that when you vividly imagine yourself succeeding, your brain activates many of the same neural pathways that would be triggered if you were actually performing the task. This means that visualization can help you build confidence, reduce anxiety, and stay motivated even when challenges arise. By visualizing success, you prime your brain to believe that it's possible, which increases your motivation to take action. The science of mental rehearsal. Athletes and high achievers often use mental rehearsal as part of their training regimen. Studies have shown that visualizing yourself performing a task can improve actual performance. For example, one study found that basketball players who practiced shooting free throws mentally performed just as well as those who practiced physically. This phenomenon is known as functional equivalence, which means that the brain treats mental rehearsal similarly to physical practice. When you visualize yourself achieving your goals, your brain strengthens the neural connections associated with those behaviors, making it easier for you to perform them in real life. How to practice visualization. To effectively use visualization to hack your brain for success, follow these steps. Find a quiet space. Sit or lie down in a comfortable position, free from distractions. Set your intention. Choose a specific goal or task that you want to visualize. It could be anything from completing a work project to giving a successful presentation or achieving a personal milestone. Engage all your senses. As you visualize, engage as many senses as possible. Imagine how it will feel, look, and sound when you achieve your goal. The more vivid your mental imagery, the more powerful the effect on your brain. Visualize success and overcoming obstacles. Not only should you visualize the successful completion of your goal, but also imagine yourself overcoming any challenges that may arise. This helps build resilience and prepares you for real-life setbacks. How visualization boosts motivation. Visualization boosts motivation by tapping into the brain's reward system. When you visualize yourself achieving a goal, your brain releases dopamine, giving you the same sense of satisfaction as if you had already accomplished it. This dopamine boost keeps you motivated and focused, encouraging you to take action. Additionally, visualization helps reduce self-doubt and anxiety. By mentally rehearsing success, you build confidence in your ability to achieve your goals, which makes it easier to stay motivated when the going gets tough. The role of affirmations in visualization. Affirmations are positive statements that reinforce your belief in your ability to succeed. When used in conjunction with visualization, affirmations can help you stay motivated by reminding you of your strengths and capabilities. For example, if you're working toward a challenging goal, you might use affirmations like, "I am capable of achieving my goals," or "I have the strength and resilience to overcome any obstacle." By repeating these statements during your visualization practice, you reinforce a positive mindset that fuels your motivation. Setting SMART goals for motivation. What are SMART goals? Effective goal setting is crucial for staying motivated. SMART goals are a popular framework for setting clear, actionable objectives that keep you on track. SMART stands for specific. Your goals should be clear and well-defined. Vague goals are harder to achieve because they lack direction. Measurable. You should be able to track your progress and measure your success. This helps you stay motivated by providing regular feedback on your progress. Achievable. Your goals should be realistic and attainable. Setting overly ambitious goals can lead to frustration and burnout. Relevant. Your goals should align with your long-term vision and values. This ensures that you stay motivated by working towards something that that matters to you. Time-bound. Your goal should have a deadline. This creates a sense of urgency and helps you stay focused. How SMART goals enhance motivation? SMART goals enhance motivation by providing structure and clarity. When your goals are specific and measurable, it's easier to track your progress and celebrate small wins along the way. This creates a positive feedback loop that keeps you motivated and engaged. For example, instead of setting a vague goal like, I want to be healthier, a SMART goal would be, I want to lose 10 pounds in 3 months by exercising for 30 minutes a day and eating a balanced diet. This goal is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, making it easier to stay motivated and track your progress. Breaking down large goals into smaller milestones. One of the biggest challenges to staying motivated is feeling overwhelmed by large, long-term goals. To overcome this, break your goals down into smaller, more manageable milestones. Each time you achieve a milestone, your brain releases dopamine, which boosts your motivation to continue. For example, if your goal is to write a book, break it down into smaller tasks, such as writing 1 chapter per week. Each time you complete a chapter, you'll feel a sense of accomplishment that keeps you motivated to move on to the next. Overcoming procrastination, behavioral science insights, the science of procrastination. Procrastination is the act of delaying or avoiding tasks that need to be done, even when you know it's in your best interest to complete them. Behavioral science reveals that procrastination occurs when we prioritize short-term mood regulation over long-term goals. In other words, we procrastinate to avoid the discomfort of starting a difficult or unpleasant task. However, this short-term relief comes at a cost. The longer you procrastinate, the more stress and anxiety build up, making it even harder to take action. This creates a vicious cycle that can derail your motivation and hinder your progress. The brain's role in procrastination. Procrastination is closely linked to the brain's reward system. When faced with a challenging task, your brain weighs the immediate discomfort of starting the task against the long-term benefits of completing it. If the immediate discomfort feels too overwhelming, your brain opts for short-term rewards, such as scrolling through social media or watching TV, to alleviate the stress. This is why procrastination often involves engaging in low-effort, high-reward activities that provide instant gratification. Unfortunately, these activities don't move you closer to your long-term goals, and they often leave you feeling guilty and unmotivated. The 5-minute rule, overcoming the initial resistance. One of the most effective strategies for overcoming procrastination is the 5-minute rule. The idea is simple. Commit to working on a task for just 5 minutes. Often, once you get started, you'll find that the task isn't as daunting as you thought, and you'll be motivated to keep going. The 5-minute rule works because it bypasses the brain's resistance to starting a task. By framing the task as something small and manageable, you reduce the psychological barrier to taking action. Once you're in motion, momentum builds and it becomes easier to stay focused. The Pomodoro technique, managing time and reducing overwhelm. Another effective time management strategy for overcoming procrastination is the Pomodoro technique. This method involves working in short bursts of focused effort, followed by brief breaks. Typically, the cycle consists of 25 minutes of work, called a Pomodoro, followed by a 5-minute break. The Pomodoro technique helps reduce overwhelm by breaking tasks into smaller, more manageable chunks. It also keeps you motivated by providing regular intervals for rest and recovery. After completing 4 Pomodoros, you take a longer break, usually 15-30 minutes, to recharge. By using these techniques, you can hack your brain to overcome procrastination and stay motivated, even when faced with challenging tasks. How stress and anxiety impact motivation. Understanding stress and its effect on motivation. Stress is a natural response to challenges or perceived threats. While short bursts of stress can be motivating, often referred to as eustress or positive stress, chronic or excessive stress can have detrimental effects on both mental and physical health, ultimately undermining motivation. The brain, particularly the amygdala, reacts to stress by activating the body's fight-or-flight response, releasing cortisol and adrenaline to prepare you for action. However, prolonged exposure to stress hormones can impair your ability to focus, make decisions, and stay motivated. The science behind stress and motivation. When you're stressed, the brain's prefrontal cortex, responsible for higher-level thinking, planning, and decision-making, becomes less effective. Stress also activates the brain's limbic system, particularly the amygdala, which is responsible for emotional reactions. This shift can lead to impulsive decision-making and a tendency to focus on immediate relief rather than long-term goals. Chronic stress has been shown to weaken the brain's ability to produce dopamine, which directly impacts your motivation levels. Since dopamine is closely tied to the brain's reward system, a lack of dopamine can cause you to lose interest in activities that would otherwise keep you motivated. The role of cortisol in stress and motivation. Cortisol, often referred to as the stress hormone, is produced by the adrenal glands in response to stress. While cortisol helps you manage acute stress by giving you a burst of energy and alertness, prolonged cortisol release can lead to anxiety, depression, and reduced motivation. Cortisol affects the brain's ability to regulate the dopamine system. This can create a feedback loop where stress leads to a lack of motivation, which in turn increases stress because you aren't making progress on your goals. Over time, this cycle can lead to burnout. How anxiety drains your motivation. Anxiety is closely related to stress, but it is more specifically tied to worry about future events. People who experience high levels of anxiety often struggle to stay motivated because they are consumed by fear of failure, rejection, or uncertainty. This kind of chronic worry impairs the brain's ability to engage in goal-directed behavior. The anxious brain is often in a state of hypervigilance, constantly scanning for threats. This can make it difficult to focus on long-term goals or find the energy to take proactive steps. Anxiety also depletes cognitive resources, leaving less mental energy for creative problem-solving or sustained effort. Coping strategies for stress and anxiety. To hack your brain for success, it's crucial to manage your stress and anxiety effectively. Here are some science-backed strategies to help you reduce stress and stay motivated. Mindfulness meditation. Studies have shown that practicing mindfulness can help reduce stress and anxiety by lowering cortisol levels and increasing activity in the prefrontal cortex. Meditation helps you stay present, focus on your breathing, and detach from stressful thoughts. Exercise. Physical activity is one of the most effective ways to manage stress and boost motivation. Exercise releases endorphins, which improve mood and reduce the negative effects of cortisol. Breathing techniques. Deep breathing exercises, such as diaphragmatic breathing, can activate the body's relaxation response and lower cortisol levels. This helps reduce stress and anxiety, allowing you to focus more on your goals. Time management. Often, stress and anxiety are caused by feeling overwhelmed by too many tasks or looming deadlines. Implementing effective time management strategies, such as the Pomodoro technique or time blocking, can help you regain control over your schedule and reduce stress. Harnessing eustress for positive motivation. Not all stress is bad. Eustress, or positive stress, is the type of stress that motivates you to perform better, rise to a challenge, or push beyond your limits. Eustress occurs when you perceive a challenge as within your ability to overcome. This perception activates dopamine and adrenaline, giving you the energy and focus needed to tackle the challenge head-on. To leverage eustress for motivation, reframe your challenges as opportunities for growth. By shifting your mindset from one of fear to one of excitement, you can transform stress into a powerful motivational tool. The role of gratitude and positive emotions in motivation. The science of gratitude and motivation. Gratitude is a powerful emotion that has been shown to enhance motivation, well-being, and overall life satisfaction. Neuroscientific research suggests that practicing gratitude activates the brain's reward centers, specifically the hypothalamus and ventromedial prefrontal cortex, areas associated with feelings of pleasure and motivation. When you practice gratitude, your brain releases dopamine and serotonin, neurotransmitters responsible for mood regulation and motivation. By fostering a mindset of gratitude, you can reinforce positive thinking patterns and increase your resilience in the face of challenges. How positive emotions boost motivation. Positive emotions such as joy, contentment, and pride have a direct impact on your motivation levels. Psychologist Barbara Fredrickson's broaden and build theory posits that positive emotions expand your cognitive abilities, allowing you to think more creatively, solve problems more effectively, and approach tasks with a sense of optimism. This expansive mindset helps you stay motivated even when challenges arise. When you experience positive emotions, your brain releases chemicals that make you feel good. These chemicals, like dopamine, also motivate you to repeat the behaviors that led to those emotions. For example, if you feel a sense of accomplishment after completing a challenging task, your brain will associate that task with positive emotions, making you more likely to tackle similar challenges in the future. The power of positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement is a well-known principle in behavioral psychology that can be applied to motivation. When you reward yourself for completing a task or achieving a goal, you reinforce the behavior, making it more likely that you'll repeat it in the future. For example, if you treat yourself to a small reward, like a favorite snack or a relaxing activity, after reaching a milestone, your brain releases dopamine, which strengthens the neural pathways associated with that behavior. Over time, this creates a positive feedback loop that keeps you motivated. How to cultivate gratitude and positive emotions for sustained motivation. Incorporating gratitude and positive emotions into your daily routine can help you stay motivated and focused on your goals. Here are some practical strategies. Gratitude journaling. Each day, write down 3 things you are grateful for. Focus on both big and small aspects of your life. This practice trains your brain to notice the positives, which can increase motivation and resilience. Celebrate small wins. Don't wait until you've achieved a major goal to celebrate. Acknowledge and celebrate the small steps you take along the way. This reinforces positive behavior and keeps you motivated for the long haul. Practice positive affirmations. Affirmations are statements that reinforce positive beliefs about yourself and your abilities. By repeating affirmations, such as "I am capable of achieving my goals," you can shift your mindset to one of optimism and confidence, which boosts motivation. Surround yourself with positive influences. Your environment plays a significant role in shaping your emotions. Surround yourself with people who uplift and support you, and create a physical space that inspires positivity and focus. The link between gratitude, generosity, and motivation. Gratitude and generosity are closely intertwined. Research shows that when people express gratitude or engage in acts of kindness, they experience a boost in well-being and motivation. This is because acts of kindness trigger the release of oxytocin, a hormone associated with bonding, trust, and positive feelings. When you help others or express appreciation, your brain releases oxytocin, dopamine, and serotonin, creating a sense of fulfillment and reinforcing positive behavior. Engaging in regular acts of kindness can enhance your overall motivation by fostering a sense of purpose and connection. Creating a motivation ritual, a step-by-step guide. Why routines and rituals boost motivation. Routines and rituals provide structure to your day, reducing decision fatigue and helping you stay focused on your goals. When you follow a set routine, you eliminate the need to constantly make decisions about what to do next, which frees up mental energy for more important tasks. This sense of order and predictability can enhance motivation by making it easier to take consistent action. Motivation rituals go a step further by incorporating intentional actions that prime your brain for success. These rituals can be as simple or elaborate as you like, but the key is consistency. By repeating the same actions every day, you train your brain to associate certain behaviors with productivity and motivation. How to build a motivation ritual. To create a motivation ritual that works for you, follow these steps. Identify your goals. Start by clarifying what you want to achieve. Your motivation ritual should be aligned with your long-term goals, whether they are related to work, health, relationships, or personal growth. Choose a trigger. Select a specific time of day or event that will serve as the trigger for your motivation ritual. For example, you might start your ritual first thing in the morning, before starting work, or after a workout. Incorporate positive habits. Your motivation ritual should include activities that put you in a positive, productive mindset. This could include exercise, meditation, journaling, reading, or practicing gratitude. Choose activities that help you feel focused, energized, and motivated. Visualize success. Spend a few minutes visualizing yourself achieving your goals. This helps activate the brain's reward centers and primes you for action. See yourself overcoming obstacles and enjoying the rewards of your hard work. Use positive affirmations. As part of your ritual, repeat positive affirmations that reinforce your belief in your ability to succeed. This helps build confidence and motivation. Take action. End your motivation ritual by taking one small action that moves you closer to your goal. This could be sending an email, writing a paragraph, or making a phone call. By starting with a small, manageable task, you build momentum for the rest of the day. The science of habit stacking. Habit stacking is a strategy that involves linking a new behavior to an existing habit. This technique leverages the brain's existing neural pathways to make it easier to adopt new behaviors. For example, if you already have a morning coffee routine, you could stack a new habit, such as journaling or practicing gratitude, onto that routine. By attaching the new habit to an existing one, you reduce the mental effort required to start the new behavior. Habit stacking is particularly effective for building motivation rituals because it makes the process automatic. The more you repeat the ritual, the more ingrained it becomes in your brain, reducing the need for conscious effort. Morning versus evening rituals. When is the best time? There's no one-size-fits-all answer to the question of when to practice your motivation ritual. Some people find that morning rituals set a positive tone for the day and help them stay focused and energized. Others prefer evening rituals, which allow them to reflect on the day's accomplishments and set intentions for the following day. The key is to choose a time that works best for your schedule and energy levels. If you're a morning person, you might benefit from a motivation ritual that helps you start the day with purpose. If you're more productive in the evening, an evening ritual can help you wind down and prepare for the next day. Building a resilient mindset for long-term success. What is resilience? Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, adapt to challenges, and keep moving forward despite adversity. It's a critical trait for long-term motivation and success, as no journey is without obstacles. People who are resilient don't give up when faced with failure. Instead, they use setbacks as learning opportunities and continue striving toward their goals. Resilience is not something you're born with. It's a skill that can be developed through practice and mindset shifts. By building resilience, you can stay motivated even when the road to success is difficult. The science of resilience. How the brain adapts to challenges. Resilience is closely tied to the brain's ability to adapt to change and recover from stress. Neuroplasticity, the brain's capacity to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections, plays a key role in resilience. When you encounter a challenge or setback, your brain goes through a process of adaptation, learning from the experience, and strengthening the neural pathways that help you cope with adversity. Research shows that resilient individuals have a stronger prefrontal cortex, which allows them to regulate their emotions and make rational decisions under pressure. They also have more active connections between the prefrontal cortex and the amygdala, enabling them to manage fear and stress more effectively. How to cultivate resilience for motivation. Here are some strategies to help you build resilience and stay motivated in the face of challenges. Embrace a growth mindset. People with a growth mindset believe that their abilities can be developed through effort and learning. This mindset helps you see challenges as opportunities for growth rather than as threats to your success. Practice self-compassion. Being kind to yourself during difficult times is crucial for resilience. Instead of beating yourself up for mistakes or setbacks, practice self-compassion by acknowledging your efforts and recognizing that failure is a natural part of the learning process. Develop emotional regulation skills. Resilient people are skilled at managing their emotions, particularly in stressful situations. Techniques like mindfulness meditation, deep breathing, and cognitive reframing can help you stay calm and focused when faced with adversity. Stay connected. Social support is a key factor in resilience. Surround yourself with people who uplift and encourage you, and don't be afraid to seek help when needed. Building strong relationships with others can provide the emotional strength you need to stay motivated. How to use failure as a learning tool. Failure is often seen as a negative experience, but it can actually be one of the most valuable learning tools. When you fail, your brain processes the experience and adjusts your future behavior to avoid similar mistakes. This process of learning from failure is crucial for building resilience and maintaining motivation. To use failure as a learning tool, reflect on the experience and ask yourself the following questions. What went wrong and why? What could I have done differently? What can I learn from this experience? How can I apply this lesson to future challenges? By approaching failure with a mindset of curiosity and growth, you can transform setbacks into opportunities for improvement. The importance of perseverance. Perseverance, or the ability to keep going despite difficulties, is closely linked to resilience and long-term motivation. Perseverance requires grit, the combination of passion and persistence that helps you stay committed to your goals over time. People with grit don't give up easily, even when progress is slow or obstacles arise. They understand that success is a marathon, not a sprint, and they are willing to put in the work necessary to achieve their long-term vision. Now that you've learned the science behind motivation and how to hack your brain for success, it's time to take action. Don't just let this knowledge sit idle. Put it to work. Start by implementing one of the strategies we discussed today. Whether it's building a new habit, creating a motivation ritual, or embracing a growth mindset, you have the power to make lasting changes in your life. But remember, change doesn't happen overnight. Success is a journey, and every small step counts. So hit that like button if this video inspired you, subscribe to the channel for more actionable insights, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Drop a comment below and let me know which strategy you're going to start with today. Your future self will thank you for it. Let's make progress together.